Hello, welcome back to Lily Snap Gaming. It has been quite a while since I recorded. It's been pretty busy here. The baby is a year old now, and so he can walk, which makes it very difficult to play video games during the day. Because he doesn't nap quite as often as he did before. And, oh good, I remembered which button to press. I was afraid there for a moment. And he's also starting to show a little bit of separation anxiety when Daddy tries to take him into the other room. So it's hard to get time to play nowadays. But we're here today. Alright. Choose successor in hiatus? I don't remember. Commander Cullen. It would be an honor to serve the Inquisition and prove the mettle of the Orlesian Chevaliers. That's not how you pronounce that. Chevaliers? I don't remember. By doing the Maker's work. I accept your generous offer wholeheartedly and will arrive in good time with those men loyal to me. It will be my privilege to order the Inquisition's troops into holy battle against those who would threaten the order of the Empire. In the Maker's grace, Lord Jean Gaspard of... Alright. We're going to go ahead and go back and finish these. Gather coin doesn't really have any, special things to read. Alright, the secrets of Andraste. Interestingly, the ruins of Alamari in origin, belonging to the tribes that inhabited Ferelden almost 1,000 years ago. What is of greater interest, however, is that none of the runes translate intelligibly, meaning it is all in code. According to the translators, a reference to the Guardian also indicates an island off the northern coast. Most curious. I will continue translation efforts in the hope we can narrow this down further. Okay. Presume that will come up after I've unlocked a few more things. Alright, choosing the successor. Alright. With Jean Gaspard removed from play, Carolina or Monette will almost certainly be the next Duchess of Hiatus. As the struggle intensifies, Carolina has sent agents to cause scandal, judging that Monette does not have the skill to avoid such snares. Monette has relied upon Mother Renette, her mentor in the Chantry, for advice upon how to strengthen her claim to the duchy, and the revered mother, in an attempt to protect Monette, has sent mercenaries to threaten Carolina's life. Okay, so we can't send Josephine. Liliana. Carolina has overplayed her hand by giving her agents so much information. I can turn that on her and leave her reputation in tatters. Or we can send Cullen and say, our troops can easily stop the mercenaries, and Carolina's plan should put her into position to be the next Duchess. Yeah, I don't like that she's sending agents to cause a scandal. I think that's kind of mean, so we're not going to allow that one. Alright, the Chantry remains. The confrontation with Mother Havera in the Val Royale market had the desired effect to a point. I think I've already read this to you guys, so I'm not going to continue reading it. If I didn't, you can go ahead and read it to yourselves. Yeah, I believe I liked Josephine best for this one. So I don't think there's a whole lot left actual quest-wise. So looks like we're sending Cullen to go get some more gold.
To work?
Have fun. Alright, so I believe last time I played on my recording, we were in these Storm Coast, correct? And we were looking at, yeah, we were at the Storm Coast. We were looking for the wardens. But we are going to go ahead and talk to Iron Bull, which I think I called Blackwall in our last video, as I watched it back a few minutes ago, which is rather amusing. Alright, so we're going to go talk to Iron Bull, and maybe see if anybody else has, well, we'll go see if Solus has anything else to say, because he is our chosen boyfriend this time around. Alright, let's talk to Krem. Hi, Krem.
What can I do for you?
Let's see.
I'd like to know more about the Iron Bull.
The chief. Last time I met him, he saved my life. I never thought I'd work for a Canary, but he grows on you. He's not like any commander I've ever worked for. That's for damn sure.
How's Iron Bull as a commander?
If you know what you're doing and hold up your end, he's easy. He doesn't accept any less. If he keeps us alive, he leads from the front, and if you've an idea that'll win the fight, he listens.
It's
Seen
nice.
bands whose captains had to prove they were swinging the biggest sword. Bull isn't like that. The charges might give him more lip than you'd expect, but every one of us would lay down our lives for the big ass.
How did a Tevinter soldier wind up in a Kunari spy's mercenary company?
I wasn't a soldier at the time. I was in some trouble, trying to flee to Vinter. A Tribune and his men caught me in a border town tavern. They meant to make an example of me. Bull killed them. Gave up his eye doing it. Patched me up and asked if I was looking for work. I've been putting up with his jokes ever since.
Aw.
That's how he lost the eye?
Yes. The guards had me on the tavern floor when Bull came inside and yelled for them to stop. One of them saw trouble coming and figured he'd finish me off. The guard had a flare. Bull put himself between me and the blow. Big-horned idiot. Didn't even know me.
Is it strange to work for a Kunari?
He hasn't tried to convert us to the Qun, if that's what you're asking. Bull's charges don't care who you light a candle for, so long as your shield stays up. If he hadn't told me he was Ben Hasrath, I'd have thought he'd left that life behind.
I didn't expect he'd tell you all that he was a spy.
Not the whole band, but those who've been around long enough to trust. He figures most of us would find out sooner or later, and it should come from him. Eyes to eye, he says. It's never messed up a job. He just writes letters back home. Lots of the boys write letters back home.
We'll talk later.
Or we'll talk now. Talk to me. Why am I pressing the wrong button again? No?
They've got good form. Cullen's putting his Templar training to good use.
Did Cullen tell you he was a Templar? He's not wearing the armor.
He didn't have to. Might not be a Templar shield, but it's a Templar holding it. He angles the shield just a bit down. Helps direct fire or acid away, so it doesn't spray right into your face.
Makes sense.
And I learned the same thing when we trained to fight Tevinter mages. Your Templar's doing good work.
You sound like you want to head down there and give the troops some pointers.
Nah, I'm no good at command unless I know who my guys are sleeping with and what they like to drink. Inquisition's already too large for that. The Chargers are big enough for me. Biggest problem for the Inquisition right now isn't on the front line. It's at the top. You've got no leader, no Inquisitor.
The Inquisition has done all right so far without an Inquisitor.
That's because all we've needed so far is damage control, reaction. A group can handle that. Once you've sealed the breach, it's gonna be time to make decisions. Someone's gonna have to step up. Who knows? Maybe you sealed the breach. The Chantry gets off its ass and all those soldiers go home and get fat.
Unlikely.
You think?
It could happen. It won't, but it could.
What in the world? Oh. That's Krem's head.
What can I do for you?
I'd like to know more about your work with the Ben Hasrath.
Ben Hasrath is actually a general term. You've got the secret police who investigate problems inside our territory. You've got the re-educators who take people with problems and fix their minds. Or make them disappear. And then you've got the spies.
How do the re-educators work?
I only know the basics. Wasn't my area. That said, keep a man awake long enough. Ask the right questions, give the right potions, and you can get him to say anything. You don't need blood magic or demons to change someone's mind. We're a lot more fragile than we'd like to believe.
Always ask more questions.
You can alter someone's beliefs that easily.
One of my friends was a re-educator. He said that every memory is like the page of a book. When you examine a memory, you're turning to that page, and when you're there, the page is laid bare. Write a few notes in the margins of the page, erase a word here and there, and your whole outlook changes. Always felt a little weird reading after that conversation.
The re-educators sound horrible.
Yeah, they probably do. Here's the thing, though. What happens in Orlais when you commit a crime or betray a lord? They just lop your head off. At least the Qunari try to fix you.
None of those sound exactly like you.
Yeah, I was a special case. They sent me to Saharan because they needed someone who could fight and hunt down problems. That whole island was a sack of cats. Incursions from Tevinter, Tal Vashath, and native rebels fighting both sides. And in the middle, me, trying to wrangle the rebels and restore order.
How'd that work out for you?
About as well as you'd expect. I hunted down a lot of rebels. Lost a lot of friends to the Vince, or the Fog Warriors, or the Tal Vashath. One day I woke up and couldn't think of a damned reason to keep doing my job. Turned myself into the re-educators.
Obviously, you made it out alive.
I wasn't sure I would, but I honestly didn't care at that point. I just couldn't keep fighting that fight. The Ben Hasrath ordered me to go to Orlais, ostensibly as a Tal Vashath, and work undercover. That's how I ended up here.
Now, I could flirt with everyone, or I could just stick with Solus and be kind. Let's just stick with Solus for now, and then that way when I play again, I can enjoy the whole storyline of flirting with other people. There we go.
Thanks for the information, Bull.
No problem, boss. Anyway, nice talking with you.
Nice talking with you as well. Boop.
How's it going?
So, how did you get the name Iron Bull?
I picked it. We don't have names under the queue. Just, I don't know. Job descriptions, I guess. When I came to Orlais, I chose the Iron Bull for myself.
But why specifically Iron Bull?
This may surprise you, but I really like hitting things. Also, it's the Iron Bull, technically. I like having an article at the front. It makes it sound like I'm not even a person, just a mindless weapon. An implement of destruction. That really works for me.
So silly.
I'd like to know more about the Qunari.
You writing a book?
We're not flirting, so let's see. I am Dalish, so don't really care if they're a
What
potential
I've heard
threat.
about them sounds fascinating.
What you've heard was mostly horse shit. All right. What do you want to know?
What's it like growing up under the Qun?
The Tamasrans raise us in these units of kids all our own age. They're like teachers or chantry sisters. They also help figure out what jobs we should do. They had me pegged for military work early on. When they learned I could hit stuff and lie, they started training me for the Ben Hasra.
You never knew your parents?
No, I know for you folks, that's a big deal. The Tomasrans were like our parents, though. Taught us to read, helped us go to sleep, all the parent stuff. I remember the one who helped me build things with blocks. She laughed when I knocked everything down.
Do you ever think about what would happen if the Kunari conquered Orlais or Ferelden?
Some folks, like Cassandra or Cullen, would do fine if they didn't die fighting. Those two love roles. But the mages, look at Solus. All that wandering in the Fade, they'd at least kill him. Both Sarah and Varric would mouth off until they ended up re-educated, drugged until their minds broke. So, to answer your question, no, I don't think about it much at all.
How do the Kunari rule themselves?
It's pretty simple. We've got the matriarchy, the priesthood, and the military. The priesthood figures out how Kunari should live in theory. The matriarchy makes it work in practice. And the military keeps the Kunari safe from outside threats.
Does it actually work like that? Is there much infighting?
Not like you're thinking of. People disagree, yeah, but the priests are there to solve disagreements. Here in Orlais, politicking comes from people putting their own gain ahead of the gains of society. If you do that among the Kunari, the Ben Hasrath set you straight, or kill you.
I've heard there's no marriage among the Kunari.
Yeah, that's true. Kunari love our friends like anyone does, but we don't have sex with them.
Kunari don't have sex?
Oh, we definitely have sex. They're Tomasrans who pop your cork whenever you need it.
Seriously?
Yes. It's not a big deal like it is here. It's like, I don't know, going to see a healer. Sometimes it's this long, involved thing. It takes all day, leaves you walking funny. Other times you're in and out in 5 minutes. Thank you. See you next week.
Yeah, not flirting. I have to keep reminding myself because normally I would always pick the flirting option. Let's see. I don't know what to say sounds like the appropriate response here.
Yep. Still, it's more fun here. Fewer rituals, more making it up as you go along. Plus, you folk have redheads. Redheads.
Which is why eventually I will make a redhead to romance him with.
How is everyday life different for Kunari?
Depends on your job, I guess. Some are just about the same. A baker in Val Royeaux gets up, gets dressed, and starts work. A baker in Parvolan does the same thing. They don't care about the Empire or the Qun. Mostly they worry about breaking eggs and hope the dough rises right.
Okay, see, my person is Dalish, so there's no, like, don't think they really think about being free.
How is everyday life different for Kunari?
Depends on your job.
Okay, so that's exactly what I just said.
A baker, they don't care about the Empire or the Qun.
Okay, well, I guess I'm going to say
Mostly they worry
that.
about breaking eggs and hope the dough rises right.
It can't be exactly the same. The Kunari have no personal freedoms.
How many personal freedoms do you figure that baker in Val Royeaux has? Life isn't about freedom. The baker in Parvolan wonders if she'll be given enough eggs to do her work. Will they come on time? Will the kitchen workers get her bread while it's fresh, or will they come late and blame her 'cause it's stale? Same crap in Val Royeaux. People are just people.
Sacrilege conversation here in the US.
The word Kunari, is that the race or the religion?
Both. Kind of. The humans and elves who follow the Qun are the Vidathari. The Kunari who break away from the Qun are Talvasha, deserters.
What about Kunari who existed before the Qun?
The people we came from. They're called the Karsith, but we don't use that word for the race. We came south to Thedas because the Karsith were... I don't know. We had to leave. The stories aren't clear. But I don't expect they look much like us. whatever they are.
See you later, Bull.
See ya.
Alright, so I think that's all the conversation for Iron Bull. So we will jump back to the Storm Coast and see if we can figure out that last little bit. Yeah, that's a shard. Don't really care about the shard at the moment. That's landmark. Okay, where is... I think it's that way. Yeah, we're gonna go that way. It'd be easier to go from here or from there. Ah! What? Okay. Pay attention. That was to myself, not to you guys. Because, you know, I'm sure you guys are paying plenty of attention. And I was not, so. Okay, who should we take with us? Sarah? Yeah, sure, why not? Confirm! Onward! So, I think we are on Proverbs 3, 11, and 12. Yep. My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline, and do not resent his rebuke, because the Lord disciplines those he loves, as a father the son he delights in. So I may have, instead of walking up the stairs to get my phone so that I could read this off the easy way, I may have looked it up and printed it off so that I didn't have to get out of my chair earlier, because I'm feeling kind of lazy today and don't really want to walk up and down the stairs a bunch of times. Plus, I knew if I walked up the stairs, I would just go and read my book, and then you guys wouldn't have this lovely video to watch. Also, I wouldn't play video games because I don't know that there are very many of you guys actually watching anyways. Alright. Come here, horse.
Nothing to report, sir.
Okay, that's okay. Get on the horse. Alright, so what were my quests here? Okay, so we don't really have one at the moment. Requisition, Inner Circle, maybe? The Lone Warden. Yes, that's what we want. That's the one we're looking for. Okay. Is it marked on my map? Ah! There we go. Oh. The hinterlands. Not the Storm Coast. That's where I was doing it wrong. Okay then, so... Oh, we have a camp right there. So we'll go ahead and travel there. And that'll be fine. Although it's going to take us until probably the end of our video. So... we will start the next video there. That way this one doesn't get too long because I'm not sure how long it'll take to do that quest. So until next time, bye!